realized a long time ago that God is no respecter of persons. And so that was one of the things that motivated me when I could actually witness. You ever hear the eyewitness?
Mm-hmm.
I was an eyewitness to seeing lives being changed in front of my face. A guy come in, you just drug him from under a car, stinky, and with an attitude. He brought everything with him. Attitude, smelling not so nice, and actually after you share the good news of Jesus Christ, you can see like the mask comes down. You can see the softening of his features, and ultimately, you see a change right before your eyes, which is it's kind of dramatic, but it's true. You actually see someone that was out of it, so to speak, with no idea about Jesus, no idea about the love of God, and care less. And when you share it patiently, because you got to take all the gruff that goes along with it, and you share it patiently and show, because we kind of what you could call it, masochistic. We don't do a lot of hugging, but we do share. And when we share, anybody that has any kind of sensitivity could tell that there's something different. And it's like a hook in their jaw, knowing that there's some. I can't put my finger on it, but I know that that this thing seems like it's real, because people, especially the people that come in the doors, they deal with phonies all day long, all night long, and so when sincerity comes their way, they can tell right away that this is not, this is no joke. This is real. And through that motivates me. And I go a little further, a little deeper. And like I said, that, behind it all is Jesus Christ. And for him to show up, and for him to condescend in a way that he shows up in my life. And through that, you share it, you give it up. And then, it goes on from there,
Pastor Smalls, that's a good segue to this next question. Just think about, and if you can answer this. So, the scriptures in Isaiah talks about how Isaiah was given an opportunity to peep into the temple, and he beheld God in all his glory. He beheld the living God in all his glory. Is there a point in this program, as you were running it, when you beheld the glory of God in this ministry?
Yeah.
What would that
be? Because it's a living witness. It's not just something that you pull out of the air or something that you make up. It's a living witness to the love of God, to Jesus Christ being a reality. And for some reason, and I can't explain it,
Amen.
But for some reason it catches on, and the people see the difference, and that's all that is. When we started this program, we didn't deal with any kind of secularism. We shared the principles of Jesus Christ and his glory and his life and his death and his resurrection. As simple as that may seem, it has power. It has See, you started this. It has power.
Amen. Amen.
And power that we would call out of this world. And that's what it is, baby.
Supernatural.
No disrespect. I don't know.
Amen.
You know, that's the bottom line. I mean, that's what motivated me, is that I knew the reality of Jesus Christ, and I was convinced without a shadow of a doubt that because of that it could change other people's lives, and I just went with that, not knowing anything about a board, not knowing anything about 501c3, not knowing anything about that, but just knowing that this young man that's sitting in front of me need the love of God. And in any of my power that I could share that love of God with him is a motivating force that you can't deny. And you just take it from there, and like I said, I didn't have a board, I didn't have, someone whispering in my ear. Yeah, Jesus was whispering in my ear, but other than that, you just you just go with what you have. And it's a day by day thing, things changes, and people changes. And I remember when I first started that, I had people on my board that was already formed before I came. I was like a candidate to head up the program. And so I'm sitting with all these gentlemen surrounded me, some of them pastors, some of them just laymen, and asking me all kinds of questions as far as ministry was concerned. And finally, one of them got what I was trying to say. And he ended up saying, well, you know what? I'm sitting here listening to this young man, and all I could hear is Jesus Christ. And that's enough for me. And that was Pastor Jordan. I don't know if you all remember Pastor Jordan. He went on to be with
I do remember.
But
when I come and I see a new man walking in, right?
Pardon?
When I see a new man walking in,
yes.
they look scruffy. And they look maybe a little scary.
Yeah.
Pastor Richard doesn't see what I see.
Yeah.
Because he sees the scary looking scruffy man and he jumps up and hugs them. And he sees the man they are about to become.
Right.
Is that how you see the men that were coming in?
I can't jump on Richard's bandwagon. No, I can't say exactly that I see him, as what he could become. I just go through, I guess you can call it just blind faith, and knowing that this person that's sitting before me, he needs the Lord.
Amen.
And that's the bottom line. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You can't dress it up. It's just, that's naked truth, you might say. And okay, I'm talking too much.
No, you're good, Pastor.
Good. This is
You're
good.
What was your pivotal moment?
What was what?
Your pivotal moment within your ministry. What moment? What were some of your transforming moments that you remember?
That's kind of hard to answer because there's so many different moments. It's hard to answer that because there's so many highlights, so many different changes that you see, you know, and that you feel, you know. So there's no just one moment. I don't. In fact, right now, I don't see no just one special moment. I don't see that right now. Maybe later on after I get through with this, I can think of something. But the thing is that
Were there a couple of people that stood out in your mind?
oh yeah, definitely. There were some good moments. There were some bad moments. One of the bad moments was that one of the fellas that I kind of embraced and took to him because he seemed like he wanted the things of God. And sadly, he ended up leaving the program. And it really broke my heart because I felt so strongly with him, you know, because I knew where he came from. I knew, you know, he was from Harlem, where I was from, and, you know, he came out of the mess, and so I knew him. And what had happened was that he left the program and took an OD. The thing that broke my heart, because I knew that eventually he was going to do something like that. So that didn't strike me in a dramatic way. It just one of those things. But what really struck me was that when he, during his funeral, there was a wife and 3 little boys. And that's what I see, what he left behind. You know, how they're going to grow up and how their father, you know, just took an OD. And that broke my heart, more so than with him taking the OD. It was the children. And that was a highlight, and that was a moment that I'll never forget. Never. Seemed like it was just burned into my memory of seeing these wife and 3 little boys following behind the hearse. That's it.
I'm good. Thank you, Pastor Smalls.
You did a good job, brother.
I appreciate that.